Basement Bookers Podcast.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Basement Chair, one half of the undisputed Basement Bookers Podcast, champions of the world, baby. Basement Chair, this is my bro, Rich the Riz on the right. We are a Basement Bookers Podcast. Two might as well be lifelong friends just talking about wrestling. And boy, do we have a lot to discuss tonight, don't we, Rich the Riz?
We do. We are right on the heels of Survivor Series Wargames. Lot to talk about the Wargames matches and the long-awaited return of R-Truth.
Rich the Riz, you have read my mind. You could have called Survivor Series Wargames Night of Champions, because multiple legendary champions that could be Hall of Famers returned to the spotlight. I'm talking about R-Truth, the most 24/7, 75/11, A95, I-10, I-30, 24/7/11 champion ever in the history.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, you have the Viper, Randy Orton, who was once the undisputed champion when they took the two belts and they put them together and made this current version. Okay, and then he had the belt for a long time. Very controversial figure on this podcast. Whenever it comes up, all he does is spike ratings. I am, of course, talking about the most legendary, reigningest, defendingest basement champion. Because, baby, we're making championships great again. And then, of course, there is little Philly Brooks. CM Punk, Rich the Riz's hero, has returned. He once had the belt for a long time. But really, if you look at it, it's not that long of a time anymore. Isn't that right, buddy?
That's correct. It's long surpassed, and just like my interest in him is long past.
I see. Bonus points if you could guess the one more former champion present at the Survivor Series Wargames. And it was no other than Stephanie McMahon. She was at ringside for the ladies' war game. She was a women's champion.
That's right.
That's another one. So let's not forget that.
I didn't know she was ringside. Did they show her?
It was on YouTube, Twitter, X or something. Like, because Bailey was coming in and and you could see Stephanie reacting to what she was doing. She like knocked somebody's hat off, and some fan.
That's great.
Yeah,
but I saw that. I saw her knock someone's hat off. I didn't see Steph.
Yeah, she was in the audience.
One of Steph's kids.
No, because they were further away, and it was some dude that doesn't look like any of them. So,
okay.
Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. There's some kind of news, I don't know, but most importantly, we're going to talk about the Survivor Series Wargames. Should we talk about the matches first, or do you want to do you have anything to say about this topic that is going to be the hot trending topic in professional wrestling for the next week?
You mean WWE's relapse? The new flare up of CM Punk? We can start with that. If you want to talk about Punk. I don't want to talk about Punk. I'd rather not talk about Punk. I'd rather him not have shown up. I'd rather have the chance and have Nothing come of it. But here we are.
Well, I'm just gonna let you cook. It sounds like you have a lot on your mind. Like your eyebrow, your forehead is so wrinkly, so there's extra anger in there. So if you want to just like de-stress the lines somehow, maybe this helps you. It's kind of like a support group for people, wrestling fans who just,
Hmm.
I don't know.
They say no one hates wrestling more than wrestling fans.
No one hates any fandom more than the fan of the fandom.
Uh, all right. CM
To be
Punk.
fair,
CM Punk. All right. So obviously we've had some time to think about this and process this.
I'll be
Here's
honest.
my hope.
Hmm.
I have a hope. I hope he doesn't get into any backstage fights with anyone. That's really my main hope. I know that booking wise and storyline wise, WWE can do better for him than AEW did. I just hope he doesn't get into fights and that he doesn't break his foot or whatever again.
Yeah, I think I'm more concerned about any kind of injuries, trying to like show off. Hopefully he's learned about that. So
Yeah. Oh, let me hop into the ring. This is easy. Nope, broken foot.
he actually looks healthier here. He looks older, but he
Hmm.
looks healthier than he did when he was over there. And I'm not. I'm just saying, maybe because he just looks old. I don't know, like because he has more hair. He looks more like he's like a grown up Phil. He's like an adult now. So maybe that's what I'm thinking. Because Triple H said that he's not the same person he was 10 years ago, and he doesn't think CM Punk is the same person he was 10 years ago. Like if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, then something ain't right. But then I'm like, yeah, but what if like the person you were 10 years ago was great? Like,
10
you know
years
what I
ago, Punk
mean?
was frustrated and pissed off, and from what we've heard, it seemed like he had a legit reason. The shit with the Bucks and Hangman
Yeah.
was stupid. I don't like to be fair. I don't know what bug was up Hangman's ass that he went off the book, which is what prompted the the post match crybaby session, which then prompted brawl out. I don't know. Regarding Punk, it's TBD. I know the storylines are there. Obviously, he's going to be feuding with Seth. I'd rather him feud with Roman. You know why?
Because it's time to kiss the ring, baby. That's
That.
what it's time. It's time to acknowledge the tribal chief. Get that. I stacked him too,
Hmm.
and then keep it pushing.
That and Roman already beat Cancel once.
Oh my God, he's the guy to do it. I
Actually,
say,
no, twice.
I say, do it at Rumble.
Go
I say
for it.
that's the match. Just get it out of the way.
Hmm.
Make Rumble as big as possible. CM Punk, regardless of how you feel about the person, CM Punk, the character, CM Punk, the person gets people talking about wrestling. So I'm the same opinion that I was before when I kept basically saying, get the bag. Like, if I was a crazy person, I would think that like this is some crazy 4D chess move. Like he didn't know how else to get back into WWE without any kind of capital. So he like
Hmm.
went on this AEW side quest to see if he could like build himself up or make a name and saw what he saw and he's like, I can't work with these guys. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying like maybe if I was writing a movie and
Hmm.
this was like a character in a movie about like a professional wrestler with certain like foils,
Fired
but
from
he's
his
got
dream job, trying to figure out what he could do to get back to it.
It's a hard thing. Like, just think about it. Like, just let's think about this from a character in a book, maybe, because that's something you're familiar with, right? You like books.
Mhm.
So it's like, look at all these flaws. Like, I think the best characters have flaws that they kind of work with and they like try to like how they handle them, how they get over them,
Mhm.
and things like that. So, maybe he's a guy that I think, like in the story, is very like the fart analogy, like he's straight edge because he doesn't need to do drugs. He's just high on his own farts. Why bother? The joke
Mhm.
that we do.
Mhm.
Um, it could be like that. But also, and here's the kicker, he kind of thinks he's the hero all the time. You know what I mean? And the toughest, it's like he's got like this self buff, like in World of Warcraft, his battle shout, like gets you more attack power, but
Mhm.
like he's got like this boisterous like buff that's like in his mind, like he's the gimmick. And then UFC happens, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
what what better way, and I'm saying better as in the worst possible way to be humbled
Mhm.
in front of millions of people.
And
And
millions.
and then you just disappear
Yeah.
because all you have is your reputation from before. And the best place to do this thing, it's like, I don't know if you've ever happened, like you had a friend and like you're not friends anymore because it wasn't good for you guys,
Mhm.
whatever. But it's like you kind of did it to each other, but you really wanted to be friends with them. I think that's what happened with WWE and CM Punk, with Vince and him. I feel like CM Punk was too much up his own ass to like just admit, he's kind of wrong about some shit too.
Mhm.
It's not just Vince, and he could have met halfway. He was kind of being real disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
Got a
and
hero
sometimes,
complex.
yeah, and not even that. Like sometimes some people like they feel like they can't go home again, so they'll burn the bridge and just keep on pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's another layer there. Like maybe this is what he's always wanted. It's just the most effed up way to go about it. You know what I mean? If you think about it from a business standpoint, like being in the shoes of these other people that have not had the positive end of the CM Punk experience,
Mhm.
you can't you can't forget the Colt Cabana of it all, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying these are facts. Like
Mhm.
he did, there's some stuff there, and I would never sue you. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like
I would never sue you, asterisk.
right, asterisk for me too, I guess. But like, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
look, I know you're saying that because you're looking at my championship, okay? And this being here is bad for your business. But listen, it's okay. You got to get over your personal shit. You got to be more like good CM Punk. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think this can be an overall good
It could be.
because people are talking about wrestling
Mhm.
and we got more options open up. This is like you have a video game and you unlock a character and it just changes everything.
Yeah. So you, in your whole summary there, your composition of thoughts, if you will,
Stream of
uh,
consciousness, right?
yeah, you reminded me of what Punk's most recent thing in AEW was, which was Got Him Released, which was the fight with Jack Perry. Now, just to remind people what that was,
It's real
uh,
glass.
right? Jack Perry wanted to use real glass in a spot. I don't know what spot it was, and Punk is like, "No dick, people are gonna get hurt." Like like that shit will like if it shatters, it could be in you. It could require surgery to get out, and if it doesn't get out, it could like get in your veins and go to your heart and kill you or
As
your opponent.
yes, selfishly, if you want to think CM Punk ego, if you die, this looks really bad for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I might never recover from this. It's not that I care about you, maybe a little bit, but more so my reputation, and
Hmm.
like you could die.
Right. So fast forward to whatever pay per view it was. Jack Perry was going to put Hook through a windshield of a car, and he knocks on it and it says, "Real glass, cry me a river." It turns out Jack Perry was the one that ended up going into the windshield,
Which
and
that's what he wanted in the first place, though.
so I don't know if I don't know.
Did
I
you?
don't know if you saw a
I'm
report. I
just going to
didn't.
remind you.
Hmm.
The Jack Perry wanted to be put through Rio Glass so he could be written off TV for a week. And they're like,
Hmm.
no. So it's not like he was gonna. It's not like it's not that. It's not that. That's insane. Imagine he's like, I want to put this person through Rio Glass. What sounds more realistic to you? That or I'd like to be put through it. You know what I mean? Like you can't suggest to someone else to be put through Rio Glass. That's insane. Even Jack Perry's not an idiot like that. Like,
Okay,
there's no way.
fair, but I feel like
What is
the
he like,
bigger
Hulk Hogan? Not even Hogan would do that. Like,
dude, Hogan would do anything to extend his career.
he wouldn't
Because
say, "No, brother, we're gonna suplex. I'm gonna suplex. You know,
Shane McMahon.
through. Yeah, I'm gonna suplex Shane McMahon through Real Glass.
Hmm.
Or Kurt. Yeah, I'm gonna suplex Shane through Real Glass. Okay, like, hello.
The fact that those didn't break. Anyway,
Yeah,
so the bigger person would like after he told him not to do it, and then he went and did it anyway. The bigger person, rather than getting into a fight about it, would have waited, right? Because obviously we saw his arm got cut up, and it didn't look like a clean cut based on the way it looked.
sure.
So could have just, said, "So how'd that real glass work out for you?" Maybe that is how it started. I don't even know. But I feel like it didn't have to escalate to shoving and throwing monitors.
Yeah, that like yeah, even if I wasn't there, it's like why what you're the aggressor. You
Hmm.
went with aggression.
Right.
Like he may have verbally aggressed
Hmm.
upon you in your view,
Hmm.
in your sphere, and you couldn't let that stand because you feel like you're that guy. And then you went and showed everybody who that guy is.
Hmm.
And maybe he's a little bit ashamed of that. I gotta say, I don't think that was a good situation for anybody involved. I don't think anybody came out of it looking good.
Agreed. Now, to be fair, we know AEW in its own way is kind of the Wild West compared to WWE. There are a lot more protocols in place, a lot more veterans in the industry, people that have just like they know. So I feel like people that are in WWE 2 or 3 years have, so to speak, more experience and knowledge than people that have been in AEW since its inception. If that's like the only place they've worked, national
Okay.
stage, right? You know what I'm saying? Like 2 years in WWE is like 6 years in AEW as far as building your knowledge, building your experience.
I'll have to take your word for it. Like I don't know like who's back there teaching who what. You know what I mean? Because I know they have a lot of guys with a lot of experience back there. I don't know who's you know what I mean?
True. I'm just going on based on these like ridiculous backstage stories
Oh, okay.
because we don't that doesn't happen in WWE,
That we know of.
right?
Which,
And with so many more people there, if it did happen, like everyone I think half of WWE talks to Sean Ross Sapp, and we know the WrestleVotes account has an in somewhere.
we all got ends, man. I got the bodega people, bro. We get
Hmm.
the information. Sources nowhere near or around the situation. Basement Bookers podcast. I don't think we're the arbiters of like who's right and who's wrong, but we're just calling it like we see it, I guess, theorizing on like the potential for all of this.
Hmm.
If in fact this will be an overall good, and how does this fit into WrestleMania? Okay, does CM Punk main event a WrestleMania night finally? The deal is 3 years that we know of, so it may. And according to sources nowhere near the situation, the details were finalized like last night, like
Hmm.
right up until the last minute, allegedly. You know what I mean? Which I don't believe, because I don't know why they were dropping all of these weird CM Punk hits the whole time. Like, they were happening. It wasn't just a coincidence.
Hmm.
People like Graves, people like Seth doing stuff, and then Shinsuke. And let's throw out the big wolf in the room. Okay, the little barking dog. Okay, if the video's going around, all right, I'm going to play it here, and we're going to talk about work, no work. And this is about Seth Rollins in reaction to CM Punk. Also, might have been what Rich was doing. So I don't know. Let's see. We'll just go back on that. That'll actually give us an opportunity and share what our actual reaction was, honestly. And yeah, we'll need the three screener for that.
All right. Well, now that we've seen the video, I get your reference about a barking dog. Seth, kind of coming out looking like the Chihuahua here a little bit, but I get the sentiment. A lot of f bombs though.
Yeah. Look, let me tell you something. I think this is the work. Kind of like to get buzz going, like how with Cody and Seth, it's like for a long time, and it's almost like if you look at Survivor Series, Cody and Seth set aside their differences. I mean, they may have said one night, but maybe after like getting through that together, they might just be friends. And when one door closes, another one opens, and it could be him and Phil. But I really don't think that should be the next move. Like I said, I say feed him to Roman at Rumble.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Get that done, and then we're off to the races. What do
You
you
know
think?
what would add an extra? What does add an extra layer there that I just remembered? Heyman was Punk's manager against against Taker.
That's crazy. So, what was your reaction? Your honest reaction when it happened? Um, when Punk had come back, when they hit the music. So let's set the scene. We have our war games victors. Arms are raised. Cody's music is still playing. The announcers are doing the schmaz. They're talking about like what a contest,
Hmm.
and and up comes the thing where it's like, all right, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. And then it just out, just says out zoom, and it's and it's Punk's music hits first. I
So
say,
hmm.
so when I was setting the scene, so first I'm like, no, this is bullshit. This is gonna be fucking Grayson Waller, and he trolled everybody and all this stuff. And there he fucking is. I lost my shit. I was like, what the fuck? Because I was half asleep. Because I was like falling asleep during the Survivor Series, like the War Games match. I had to rewatch it before the episode to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Hmm.
I missed a little bit, but anyway, that's not the point. I was like, "Oh my god, dude!" Like, I turned up the wanted to hear the music, and they were loud. Like, they exploded. The people, they exploded. I was like, "Business is about to pick up. This is good. This is good for business." And I hope, like, I'm like speculating, like, "Oh my god, CM Punk, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, all these matches that I can now see." So that's my reaction. How about you?
Sitting on the couch. All right. Main event just ended. Cool. Looks good. I go to put my laptop down, and I hear the
Water in
music.
one hand, kale in the other.
No, the water was in the cup holder. There's a cup
Okay.
holder near on my couch. Put the laptop down, and I hear the music, and I'm like, they're trolling. Someone's trolling. This isn't happening. And he walks out, and I'm like, shit, they're fucking doing it. Laptop back. Out comes Punk. So I typed. Actually, what exactly did I type? Oh, post match Punk comes out. Obviously, on air, we didn't see the Seth thing. I So I'm not going to work myself into a shoot here. I'm just questioning why they would say, "Hey Seth, go out there and give us your actual honest reaction to CM Punk." No, I'm kidding. I feel like with all those F bombs and throwing the middle fingers up like that, WWE, they really can't use that footage to promote anything. Obviously, it got around social media because people happen to be recording it. I
And
don't
they
think
would have been, dude. Come on.
I don't think
In
they necessarily
2023,
I don't think they
dude,
would have been focused on Seth and
going
Seth's
viral,
reaction.
going viral is its own um like distribution. You know what I mean? It's
True.
like we did. You can't fight us. It's not our shit. Fuck.
hmm
What you up? Like,
One thing I found interesting in another video that we posted was um, how when Judgment Day left, like Drew, I guess had waited around for some cue, and then a cameraman who isn't even looking at Drew waves him on, and then Drew heads to the back. So I'm
yeah,
wondering what the reason for the delay was. Just out of
I don't
curiosity.
know.
Probably nothing important, but
No, it's one of those like nothing. That's a nothing
mhm,
burger, unless it is, and then it's like, oh, okay, what do we got here? Yeah, I think what we got here is Seth Rollins being in character. In character, he's
mhm,
referred to him as a cancer, and if you feel someone is an actual cancer, this is how you're gonna respond. He's coming into the place that you love, like an infection to you. Like this is his character. He's in line with his character. I don't know what to tell you. Like, and yes, when I got it, when I shared it, when I shared the reel, I was like, oh, you know what? It could be a work. But then again, everything I think like that, like, oh, it could be a work.
mhm. At this point, we're doing this so long, we don't want to be the ones to say, "Yo, that was real," and then get caught.
Yeah, I was though, but like, just because you got maybe a little bit because you got like you get excited, it's
hmm
like, man, the Undertaker being from Death Valley, what does that mean?
hmm
You know what I mean? Like,
hmm
is he a cowboy? Is he from like the cowboy times? Like what happened? Like how does
hmm
that work exactly? Does the urn keep him from like turning into like a pile of ashes? Like what happens to if I get the urn? Like if I get the Undertaker's urn, would I be able to control him like Paul Bearer? Or like if can I take in the powers of the dead man myself? Can I become the new dead man? I would think about like all these like crazy theories. Just like because like how would I beat the Undertaker? You know what I mean? If Hulk Hogan needed my help, how would
Just
I
open the
help?
urn and shine the light in his face.
That's what I'm saying, brother. Like look, I couldn't get the vitamins and stuff, so I'm like, I'm praying up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
praying up the best I can, brother. And
hmm
I figure if I can
Pray
figure
up
out
for
how
the
to
blow up.
brother. And then if I could stop the Undertaker, then me and Hogan could be tag team champions. And that's what I thought. That's what I
hmm
thought. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the magic. I like the magic. I like to keep a little bit of magic for myself. I think the podcast is a part of keeping the magic, alive. So yeah, again, more good things. Even if CM Punk has to kiss the back of Pierce's bald head and or sniff it as he do in this image, it looks like I just noticed. I did this. This is
Mm.
my overlay. But yeah,
He's sniffing his head like parents sniff their baby's head.
yeah, he's like, wow, man, we got Regal, we got Punk, we got Jade. It's popping off over here. This is great news, and honestly, I can't wait to see what everybody does. I can't wait to see what AEW does because now it's time to kick it into full gear, guys. Now it's really time to hit that accelerator. Now I know being the elite is done. Now y'all got more time to be creative with other shit. You know what I mean? Let's pull our resources here, but let's stick to Survivor Series, Rich Riz. Um, before we piece out on the CM Punk reaction, are you good with giving how you felt? Is that really you good there? I
I
want to make
feel
sure you
like
got
I
everything
have
out.
I feel like I've summarized my feelings on the Punk arrival relapse as best as I can for this episode. I'm sure in future episodes I will probably revisit it, but for now, I'm good. I think I only get one rant per episode, right?
No, you get as many as you want. It's
All right.
kind of like AA. I
Okay.
don't think they like unless they do, in which case I'm sorry. I don't know. I've never been. But yeah. So let's get on with the card proper. We're gonna just BS through it, but just before that, how'd you feel, you guys out there, the Basement Bookerverse? Let us know in the comments below. Well, how do you feel about CM Punk? Do you agree with my assessment that it's an overall good? Um, or Rich's assessment, which is not that much different from mine. So when you think about it, in a
Ultimately, on screen good, off screen, please be good.
right, right, exactly. So sound off below, and we're gonna talk about the rest of the Survivor Series. Well, thank you, other Jer. We are talking about Survivor Series War Games, and what better way, Rich, there is here to open Survivor Series War Games than a Survivor Series War Games match involving athletes. I'm talking about Team Bianca Belaire with Charlotte Flair, woo, the man, Becky Lynch, and Shotzi. She's a psycho. She's a psycho or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they face off against the Kabuki Warriors plus Bailey. Uh,
And Io Sky.
no, I folded her in. She's in.
She was not
She,
Kabuki Warrior.
I know that, dude. I know it was just them,
No, I know
but
you know. I'm telling them
okay.
in case they don't know.
Why do they? It doesn't matter for my example. I'm folding them in together. All right. Don't make me come to your house with my championship belt and stand out front like it's a boombox, like I'm trying to get you to come outside.
Is that why you wanted to record so early so you could start bragging about your title this early, like literally not even 24 hours after winning it?
The thought had not occurred to me until I had to set up for the podcast when I had to set the overlay for me being the champion. The reason
Mm-hmm.
being that in the world of YouTube, you need to strike while the iron's hot and waiting on such a thing, such an occasion, waiting to get it out to the people, waiting till Saturday, Friday, the earliest. The world's changed by that time, my friends, and that's why Basement Chair is your hookup. Thank me later in the comments below and tell Rich Riz just the way you feel about him. Like I was saying, these teams were great, Rich. What do you think about it? Did you like it a lot? I liked it a lot. Trash can, back fists, everything's good here.
Yeah, Io did the thing with the trash can catch me. That was after we had a brief moment of a Charlotte and Becky hug. It was like, all right, listen, we're
Yeah.
good.
Like it seemed to me that's what happened, but it felt like it wasn't very organic. It's like I got to do this. I guess I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? It's like there's still something going on there. So I think good, and I'm glad. I'd rather them play it as if there's still something going on there. as opposed to not.
I'd be okay with that because even if there's not actual animosity specifically between those two are, like pretty much among the biggest alpha females in the company. So and right now they're on different shows. So it's kind of okay. They can each vie for their own title. But if the draft, whenever that happens, switches that up and they end up both on the same show, then they're both going to be trying to get the same title and they will cross paths again as enemies, or at least just across the ring from each other.
I think they have to become tag team champions and like legitimize the women's championships. Like do with the women's championships. You might not be able to do that. You can't because it's like because I'd want them to hold it for a long time, and Mania's coming up. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be able to hold it for that long.
What if they get them at Mania?
They're not gonna. For some reason I don't see them wasting Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch in a tag team match when they can each of them have singles matches to elevate new stars or like have bangers.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like sometimes a 2-for-1 sale's good, and sometimes a 2-for-1 sale's not good. You know, you're limiting your card. I think
Yeah.
that's my opinion. That's why I kind of like. I don't think so because its current state, the championship in its current state, it's not worth WrestleMania. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? It's just not.
I feel like the women's tag titles are going to be defended soon in a fatal four way or fatal five way because when I think it was Pierce made like a fatal four way match to determine the number one contenders, they said I think it was I don't remember if it was Chelsea or Piper that said they could beat all four teams. Well, the next logical thing to do after that statement is say, "All right, prove it."
Sure. And it's like, oh, here they are.
So a little foreshadowing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they could still be tag team champions heading into WrestleMania and have separate programs. Like that could be a part of the story.
True.
You could have it where I'd hate to say it, like they would be pulling an AEW, but you could have them defend the women's tag team championships and still have to wrestle their matches, or oh, this would be even better.
Hmm.
So they have to defend their tag team championships one of the nights, and someone is working twice that night. You know what I mean? There could be something going on there because it's like, why do I have, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to defend the tag team championships and I got a match? I got to defend, like, maybe they got a belt or something, or they like have a title shot also that they have to
Hmm.
worry about later on. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? I was just wondering about that because one
Or
of them would have to be working twice.
it would be crazy if, like, if they defend at Mania, they'd either defend or win the women's tag titles, right? At on night one, but night two, they're both in like a triple threat or fatal four way or something like that for one of the singles titles.
Okay. Well, you do that. That's
Kind,
less
kind,
conventional.
yeah. Well, kind of like what they did with MJF the first time he faced when they won the ROH tag titles, and then he faced Cole later that night.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I'll revisit that. I think we should revisit that.
Let's put a pin in that and maybe
Actually, you know
talk.
what? Just do it, I guess. So this match happened. We're not even talking about it. You hit the thing. You know when the little cart's going down the track in the mine shaft, you just hit the thing, and you just sent us through the waterfall mountain, which was good. We got a little spritz in our hair, refreshing mists, Sierra mists, if you will, the honeydew honeysuckle. But this match did not suck. Uh, obviously the faces had the advantage. We all knew that was going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and I really did. The reason I didn't change my pick is because I knew for sure. My gut told me that Cody's team, the fellowship, the Rhodes Fellowship, was going to win. They were going to walk out of Survivor Series War Games as the winners. Okay, I knew it was going to happen, and there's no way. There's no way. And both face teams won. I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Like you got faces winning, just beating heels. What's going on here? This is crazy. And I think there's a lot there. There's a lot of story to tell there. Bailey, as we know, stopped each individual member of the team from being taken out, from losing the match.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no one to stop her from getting pinned and losing the match.
So I feel like within damage control, the story going forward is that like everyone that's not Bailey is going to say, "Well, listen, you got pinned. You were the weak link," and she's going to be like, "Yeah, but all of you would have gotten pinned earlier had I not broken it up."
She took bullets for them
Mm-hmm.
also. So
So I am digging the story that they're telling with damage control, and I'm digging so far that it seems to be a slow burn. Um, I feel like the slightly more casual viewer might say, "Oh, what's the big deal about Bailey? She's always losing." But you have to look at like her body of work. And really if you look at it, she's very very giving of a performer to because I feel like she's not booked in these situations directly. It's like I feel like she kind of has some input here and says, let me put this one over. Let me be the one to break up all the pins, and this will be the story, kind of thing. You get what I'm saying?
yes, but I have a better idea.
Okay.
Do what you said, but if they don't do what you said,
Mm-hmm.
I would say like Bailey should just be bum ass Bailey.
Hmm.
Okay, because there's a .com thing I saw, and like she was being interviewed, and she's like she's all banged up, and like she's wondering where her team is. Like, do you know where they are? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? How like she sacrificed for them, and like they're nowhere to be found. So
Mm-hmm.
I think come Friday, I think we're gonna see the end of that, and I think Sasha Banks is coming back. Like I think if she doesn't sign with AEW
Mm-hmm.
or anyone else, she's probably gonna sign with them. I have a feeling.
Is her contract with New Japan up?
I don't know what it is, and frankly, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying eventually. Like it doesn't have to be tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like I'm saying like I'm not saying between now and like 10 years and be like, what I tell you? I tell you she's going into the
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Fame, brother. There she
Like
goes.
basically, as soon as she's available, she's coming back. You're saying?
Yeah, however, whenever that is. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna see her back there. I think there's something here. I think, yeah, I really don't know what else to say. This is probably not like when I was saying CM Punk's gonna come back one day, because maybe he will come back one day. Oh, wait a minute, he's back. But I'm just saying, never say never is a real thing, and you should never, especially after recent events. Like, really, I think that the door is like open on everything.
If
Like,
they let CM Punk back, they'll let anyone back.
yeah. So, Rich, anything further on this amazing match where the right team won? Um, Becky Lynch's music played us out at
Mm-hmm.
the end there. She got the cover. And that's what I get for. Well, either way, it doesn't matter. But still.
Yeah. So just to reiterate, we both got this one wrong. We both picked damage control, but
Yep.
I liked the story that was told. Like I said, the Bailey saving everyone and then ultimately eating the pin. Plus your .com video that you mentioned that I haven't seen. And I would like to see how this plays out on Friday.
Yeah, Friday is the day after Thursday. So make sure you watch SmackDown or something.
No.
No.
Next up for the prestigious Intercontinental Championship, we had among the longest, is it the longest run total now? I think he is. The longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, Gunther, the ring general himself, against the A-lister, The Miz, trying to reclaim the championship that he says he brought more prestige to. This is a good match. This is a fun match. I liked that we saw a more technical side of Miz. I definitely appreciated the figure four in the ring post. What do you think?
Rich, this match had everything. It had hands, legs, worked the body part. Sometimes maybe you would see a miracle happen. People saw Mike the Miz Mizanin kick out of the power bomb, and they thought that you would believe a man could fly.
Hmm.
But it wasn't to be because Gunther, the reason he's the best wrestler is because I can't say to you anytime the match is over how he beats the guy. I can't go, yeah, he did his thing because he doesn't just do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just that. He will tap you out with a Boston Crab, a modified Boston Crab. At one point, put extra pressure on his knee down extra on Miz's back, was just digging in. And
Almost a lion tamer.
and he was going for the rope, the Miz. I was like, he's gonna get out of this. And it's like, no. That's the best thing about a Gunter match. It's like you don't know when the finish is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be a Boston Crab. You
Yeah.
can get Boston Crabbed, and that's it. That's a wrap. Cover yourself and your slogans and your WWE superstar and your sports entertainment, and it did not protect you. It did not ward off the vengeful spirit of professional wrestling that is Gunter,
Mm-hmm.
claiming your soul like the Undertaker. But he's just like taking souls with like athleticism and pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He wrestles the soul out of your body. He's like Shang Tsung, but from Austria or some shit.
He's gonna stretch ya.
Yeah, this guy is legit, man. There's nobody. I can't wait till CM Punk gets beat by him.
Yeah,
Like,
he's gonna chop. Gunter's this is a Friday guy, right? Or Monday? It's a Monday guy. He's gonna chop him to Friday night SmackDown.
I'm here for it. Look, we're all asking questions here. We want to know: does Gunter have a challenger now? Like he's beaten pretty much like the entire mid card. I'm trying to think of who hasn't had an intercontinental title match. Outside of Randy Orton, who just recently came back, and obviously CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
There's got they can't like Jay. Jay hasn't, so that's something you could do. That's actually a big somebody. That's a
Yeah,
big somebody.
I was gonna say I wouldn't consider Jay mid card. He's
Yeah,
not mid card Jay Uso.
yeah, but I get it, but like some might say the Intercontinental Championship is a main event title. I mean, it's not if you beat Gunter, I
That's
don't
big.
think you're just the Intercontinental Champion. You're just the best.
So you figure it's going to go to someone that has a big name. It certainly could go to Randy, former Intercontinental Champion, right? Jay could get his first singles title. Be down with that.
I feel like taking the IC championship and giving it to Randy off of Gunter is a bad idea. Like people will
I
get so mad.
I
They will
agree.
get so mad. But that like it being a possibility would be neat because Randy is one of those intercontinental champions, and some might say one of the best.
Hmm.
And Gunter's the ring general, so who knows? Maybe Gunter would be the one to challenge Randy Orton. Could you imagine? Actually, I don't think he would do that. Like in his mind, like he would have to want to face him because
Hmm.
he's the best champion. He shouldn't have to go to him. So that's my bad. Um, Either way, I'm intrigued. Like I'm sorry, Miz. Like there was no way you were gonna win. There were interesting spots where it was like, oh, did he get the low blow? No, he kicked him in the knee.
Hmm.
Maybe if he got the low blow instead, he might have won, but he didn't. He kicked him in the knee. So,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna call BS on the referee going to fix the post because most times they don't, and they don't care. So it
Hmm.
depends on what the thing is. Like that part, I'm like, oh come on, man, you do okay, fine, I get it. So you know how it is, though.
Yep. It's like, wait, what does the ref see now? What's the story being told?
Indeed, sir. Indeed. Is there anything further on this, or are we ready to rock and roll on to the next match in the Survivor Series War Games?
Just about the future of the Intercontinental title and next challenger. I think there's got to be some sort of like multi-person match to determine the next contender. I feel like I kind of get the feeling that if it's not going to be like Randy or Jay, that they're going to circle back to Bronson Reed. I don't know if I like that.
I don't know how I feel about that. Isn't that Elimination Chambers like that next? That the one in Australia,
Yeah,
or
that's February. I don't think that's no.
so that's after Rumble?
Yeah,
All right. So either you can do maybe the Elimination Chamber is for the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship.
could be.
Because my other idea was, or Gunther defends his Intercontinental Championship in an Elimination Chamber.
Could be.
Has he done that already? Am I bugging out?
I don't think so.
Nah, I don't know. That would be the ultimate test. Right there, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, because my other idea was like maybe the runner up for the Royal Rumble should get to Intercontinental Championship shot at Mania. If
Hmm.
you didn't win the Rumble, but you get to fight the Intercontinental Champion instead. Because
Yeah.
like you
Did.
weren't the last man standing, but you were the second to last man standing, I guess.
Hmm. I could have sworn I put the upcoming WWE events in my calendar, but I don't see
It's all
them.
right. We'll come back to it. Doesn't matter. You're wasting
Okay.
time. It's all right. Don't worry about
God damn it.
that. So what you see is what you get. Here. What can I say? This was without a doubt, if you are a fan, if you are a Zoe Stark fan, which I am, you knew what you were going to get going in. You're going to
Hmm.
get to give your
Talking
best
about? It's
shot.
the lamest one. It's
Rhea
like
Ripley's going to
it's not the same as like
she's
the
going to
worst
sell.
ones. What are you
She's
talking
going to like
about?
make you look great, and then she's going to fold you up and send you into the imagination of young men everywhere. And that's it. That's a wrap. It's over. There's nothing you
Hmm.
can do. I don't think there's anyone currently alive on the roster that can beat Rhea Ripley, and I stand by that. There's literally no one there right now currently active in the WWE
roster that can beat Rhea Ripley, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm on the same page there. I feel like they might want to give it to Nia, or they might be holding out for Jade.
If anyone is going to do it, it's Becky Lynch. And I'm talking about, and I said, on the roster active. Jade is not an active part
I know.
on the roster, so
I
she
know.
doesn't count.
That's
And
why I
what
said
I
holding it
was
for Jade.
and what I said, and even then I wouldn't. Even then I wouldn't. I would want it to be someone that's there, but like I don't know who it could be. Like Cora Jade's around. She could do it. There's like she's small. She's the underdog of the two. I mean, then again, everyone that's opposite Rhea Ripley is. You could argue Roxanne Perez, but I wouldn't because I think Cora Jade is more ready. She's readier.
Hmm.
Roxanne Perez is still, white meat baby face. She's out there doing the best things she can do down there, having fun, honing her craft, getting ready for the big time. I think she'll get another NXT championship before we see her on the main roster again.
I kind of hope so. I feel like she could use some more time, specifically, like not her in ring stuff, but okay, so like a little bit of her in ring stuff, only because it's kind of the same thing every time. Like she's the perpetual underdog, and it's like, oh, pop rocks, 1, 2, 3. Let's see some more variety, right? Um, I know, like maybe she just needs another finisher besides the pop rocks.
I wish I was that over, where it's like Jerry move 1, 2, 3, and it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I know, right? I just beat people. Isn't that great? I wish I was that over.
yeah.
Just beat people.
But I think she also needs some more character development. Like you said, white meat babyface, and she tried this kind of crazy gimmick, and it was like, oh, I'm still white meat babyface, but I'm acting a little kooky.
Every time I see like, people talk about wrestling and stuff, I always imagine the wrestlers like coming up with the matches with each other.
Hmm.
And it's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I do the thing with like it was like like when the Rock and Triple H were talking to each other, where like the Rock came to visit and he's like, oh yeah, I wrestle you and we do this thing, and it's like, yeah, you know what? No, she'll be like me, I'll hit you with the thing with the
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
that. And I
I
was
remember
like,
that. It was
or I was
good.
like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna heat you up. I'm gonna hit you up with the slap it butt. You get a little bit of a suplex. Want to get a little heat on me. Then I hit you with the Jerry move. 1, 2, 3. We all go home. We all
Mhm.
go home. All right. That's what we're gonna do, brother. It's like, yeah, no, but no, brother. I'm going over. Don't worry about it. Let's have an easy night. All right. Let's just go home happy. Okay. Let's just send the people home happy.
Dude, Attitude Era Raw was just untouchable.
Yeah, it was so good. Uh,
Like, yes, it had its cringe moments, and like if you know yeah, feminists hated it. I get it, but man, it was some of it, like the comedy stuff was gold.
dude, back in the day, it used to be, and well, it is for me today. If feminists hate it, it's good. Like they just don't like anything good. Attitude Era was legit. That's how you do it was good.
So what would you call fans of Zoe Stark? I like Starker.
I would say stark raving mad,
Mm, what
or
about Z Team? Or yeah,
I don't want to do this.
I like Starker. Great.
I don't want to be a Starker. No, I don't know. No, I don't want to be a fan of hers now. You just lost her a fan. Now she's all alone out
uh
there. How's she supposed to go out there and climb her way back up to get taken down again?
hey, what about Switch Hitter? Since she dresses like a switch, and she's like
No,
hitter.
no, because you want me to be called a switch hitter, which, by the way, doesn't sound great. I don't like it. I don't even like baseball. So I'm going to pass on that. And I'm going to pass when you try to further degrade my character. Okay, because I'm the champion now.
Let's
and you
let the
will
Bookivers
treat me
vote.
with
Let us know down
respect.
below. Let us know down below what you think Zoe Stark fans should be called. If you like Starker or Switch Hitter or Z Team, let us know. If you got another idea, let us know.
You know what, man? You can mock all you want, but you'll still be bald.
That's right. By
That's
choice. I shaved my
bald.
head. Shaved my head today.
That's right. I thought it looks freshly shaven.
All right, next up, which actually happened before Rhea Ripley's title defense, is Santos Escobar versus not Carlito, because it was instead Dragon Lee, because of the attack on SmackDown. Allegedly, Carlito hurt his shoulder. I have not seen anything on the dirt sheets to indicate that it was a legit injury, so it might be kayfabe. I don't know. If you saw something, post it below. Let us know. In
He's
the
injured
meantime,
like Ray's injured.
could be.
Yeah.
Well, Ray, I mean, we know Ray had to get surgery again on, what was his 10th knee surgery?
Yeah, I think so. I think after the 10th one, you get a free one. So
Oh,
that's
he's got
pretty
one of those little
cool.
punch cards.
Yeah.
Nice. So I like this match, and obviously we both picked Santos to win when it was Carlito. Neither of us bothered posting on social media because we both said, okay, Santos is still winning, and Santos won. We had the threat of him crushing Dragon Lee's leg. And it's funny, I messaged Jerry. I'm talking to the Bookiverse here. I messaged Jerry the other day saying, when I'm playing Supercard and I see Dragon Lee, in my head, my first thought is, oh, wait, that's not Kalisto. Because they kind
Yeah.
of have a similar mask, in my defense.
Uh,
A little bit. They both had the tails.
well, yeah. Yeah, sure. And I think Kalisto started wearing shorts towards the end of his run, I believe. If from I don't recall, but I think he started like dressing different, looking more like Dragon Lee would. But and then he had
Maybe.
left, I think. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure.
Either way, this loss for Dragon Lee so early in his main roster career, I feel like will not hurt him as long as they treat him right going forward. But Santos had to be elevated here. Now, I don't remember if it was on the pre-show or just before the match, or maybe it was on Friday. I don't even know. There was an interview with Santos, and he had said something in Spanish that they didn't bother translating, and I didn't look it up because I suck. And he mentioned Legado del Fantasma. So I'm wondering if Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, who he accidentally called Raul, I think it was last SmackDown when he attacked them last week. Raul Mendoza, of course, his previous name, before they Vincified it. So I wonder if they are going to join him.
I don't know. I heard that Humberto and
Garza,
Garza are gonna be coming up to be with Escobar.
the new Legado.
Yeah.
That
Because
would
it doesn't seem weird after he disrespected them like that to just take them on. Like after betraying him, like why would he do that? It doesn't
well, he
make sense.
disrespected them because they took exception to what he did to Ray and to, well, mainly to Ray.
I understand that, but in his mind, after all he did for them, why would he give them another chance?
Fair.
You know what I
All
mean?
right, so it's going to be Legado del Fantasma 2, Santos Humberto and Angel Garza, I guess, versus Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, and they'll swap in
You mean the
Carlito.
LWO?
Yeah, Carlito. I mean, maybe make Dragon Lee part of the LWO while Ray's recuperating also.
You know what? I respect Escobar. He had to get a stupid tattoo. He's like, "Where's your stupid tattoo? Look at this. You believe I got this tattooed to my
That was
fist?
great.
Probably not. You know, like,
Mhm.
look at
I
this. You didn't do
I
this.
got this tattoo to only be in this faction for 3 weeks.
Yeah, like, what the hell, dude? Like, Well, is it really 3 weeks? It's got to be more than 3 weeks, right? I'm,
Whatever.
I'm bugging out, right?
Feels like 3 weeks. It's probably longer, but it feels like 3 weeks.
Backlash.
Yeah, whatever.
Backlash was like
He didn't have the tattoo then. The
that's
tattoo is more recent. Maybe he
that's
got the tattoo less than 3 weeks ago.
I don't believe that, but maybe. Yeah, actually, you're right. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I
Or
haven't
it was
really
probably a
looked at his
fake tat
hands. I hope so. Could you
for him.
imagine getting that? Like, I mean, it's not Cody Rhodes tattoo. It's not a neck tattoo. At least it's on your hand. You can wear gloves. It's on your hand.
Hmm. That neck tattoo, like that should be in that's in the dictionary, right? If I can speak, that's in the dictionary as it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, next to face tattoo.
It worked for Post Malone, worked for 6ix9ine or whatever.
Well, they're lucky they can rap or whatever it is that they do.
Post Malone kind of does everything I've seen.
Well, I guess that he falls into whatever he does then.
Entertainer.
Well, that would include you technically.
That's right, basement chair.
All right. So as for this match, what a classic, etc. Nobody Dragon Lee guy. It's okay,
Yeah,
Dragon
we
Lee.
we had the typical, oh, let me rip your mask off to disrespect lucha libre. Oh, Santos knows what the mask means in the culture.
Yeah,
He
but
knows he shouldn't
now
do that.
now we know he knows that we know in this context.
Hmm.
Okay, so now we're all on the same page as long as we were
Such
paying attention.
disrespect.
Yeah, to what those fools on commentary were saying. Speaking
Mm.
of disrespect. Uh, so let's move on to the next chapter in the story. Let's finish the story. That is War Games, and I am of course referring to the Rhodes Fellowship, the Ring Wraiths, aka the Judgement, Dizzay. They went to war, Richard. Boy, didn't they? Did they?
They absolutely did. Now, I feel like my undoing here started when Rhea Ripley ran out with the Money in the Bank briefcase. And it took me a second. I was like, wait, what's happening? And then the announcers mentioned they had just put Cody Rhodes through Seth Rollins through the table. I'm like, they could turn this into a world title War Games match? And I'm like,
Yo,
wait,
how's that work exactly?
right. Like that
Oh my
was the
God, is it
obvious
Fall Brawl? The winning pinfall is the champion?
that was the obvious swerve. I'm like, oh. I'm like, they're not winning, are they? They're in control. And this is a distraction. This is bad. And then it was bad. Why don't you finish it up?
I was in hostile territory, Rich Derez. As we stated recently on the Basement Bookers podcast, 9 of you that saw the preview episode, but that's okay. You can go back and watch it. Um, Listen, we knew I was in hostile territory. I had no chance. But then I heard voices in my head. And the look on Rhea Ripley's face was priceless. When Randy's music hit, Cena goes. And I'm like, please, 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 RKO Rhea Ripley. It didn't happen, but I'm still gonna wait. I'm gonna hope and pray every day. And if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Randy. He's not gonna let me down. He's gonna hit that RKO on Rhea Ripley. It's gonna be great. He's gonna give us one of his signature Randy, just like no, like when he's like just like, or he's like,
True.
when he knows he did something like, uh oh.
Yeah. Like, oh,
So
that's a fine.
yeah, that's speaking of feminisms. Anyway, he'll be fine. They can take it. Like Nia Jax got RKO'd, Beth Phoenix, like I said before.
Hmm.
But Randy came, lit them up, and JD McDonough, he was all alone. And he wanted to get away. So he thought, what better way than to climb to the top of the cage? Only Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins had different ideas, and they were in pursuit. They chased that boy to the top of the cage. And then at one moment, Randy's standing there. He's looking up. He's looking up like that dog that there's a treat. There's a treat. The treat's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cody's looking at Randy. And then Randy's looking at JD. And Jey Uso's looking at JD. He's looking at Randy. And then just like Cody.
It was at this moment
Yes.
JD McDonough knew he fucked up.
And then it happened. Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins just yeet JD McDonough off the top of the cage into an RKO.
In the arms of the angel.
And like the way Jay sold it when it hit, it was crazy. It was like it was almost as if JD McDonough like splatted. And
Mhm.
like the way his hair is so dark, it was kind of scary for a second there. Like, oh my God. But like I'm surprised that he didn't get pinned because he could have been pinned right there. But no, it was Cody. Cody with the blessing of Randy Orton, the apex predator, the Viper. He would go, he says, you, and then he hit him with the crossroads and he pins Damian Priest. And of course, let's not forget where everybody did the Randy draping DDT to their own guy over there. It was great. It was beautiful, man. It was
Yeah.
everything.
So
I saw colors.
my beef with that was the call. Michael Cole said vintage war games.
No,
No,
it's vintage
no.
Randy Orton.
Right, but he said vintage war games. It's
I
not
know,
vintage war games. That had never happened before. It's not vintage anything. Vintage Orton when he did it, everyone else it was new for. War games it was new for.
You
Damn
should
it, Cole.
at Michael call him and tell him. And he's pretty good with this lately. He's like, you know what, you're right. He might acknowledge you. He might acknowledge you. If he acknowledges you, then that's something. We're gonna have to acknowledge that on the podcast. We'll have to put like acknowledged by Michael Cole, like a little plaque under your little monitor there.
Yeah, put
So
it right where damage control is.
no, I was thinking right where your championship used to be. This way you can always
You
have it
had
with
to.
you.
You had
Well,
to.
well, yeah, because we're not always on this screen.
No, I know
So
you can make it. It's whatever.
it would be like
Part
if
of the overlay.
see how the
Part of
belt.
an overlay.
Yeah, like I said, like how I have the belt,
All right, all right, all right, all right.
and then you're gonna have your thing there. So, but that would mean he has to
But
acknowledge.
what about when I get my belt back?
That's not gonna happen because I'm playing this game smart from now on. I'm gonna
Said that
beat
last
you.
time.
Well, yeah, but guess what? It worked out for me now, did it? And you know what? I plan on holding this championship for a long time, baby. Because let me tell you something, Rich, there is. Withdrawals are awful. They're a terrible thing to go through. Okay. Right now, you might seem fine. But soon, the gold shine off the top, you'll start sweating. The sweats haven't started yet, Rich. But they'll come. The shakes, maybe, if you're lucky, 2, 3 days out of your system, give or take. But then every time you theorize, you make a prediction in your mind, maybe it resets you a little bit. I don't know. But hey, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. I've been there. Thank God I'm not there now. Because where you are,
Smug son of a
ooh.
bitch.
Ah,
You smug son of a bitch. Wait, just wait. Just wait till I get my title back.
well, thankfully I'll be waiting a long time. I'm a patient man, so I try not to be impatient. So, anywho, so yeah, everybody shined here. You know, Jay saved Randy from being attacked by a priest. He gave him the old, "I'm gonna super kick you, not really though, but the guy behind you" kind of thing, and Randy didn't even flinch.
That was
Cool as a
right after.
cucumber.
That was right after Randy was about to hit the RKO on Jay.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. We were all good. We're all friends.
Hmm.
Um, but my question is, after having seen all this, did this return of CM Punk take away from Randy's return?
I'll say no because Randy's return was not a surprise. So they're in different classes of returns, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
Truth's return was a surprise, but
that was
Tr-
huge.
that was great. Truth was never a main eventer. So really, all three returns were all different types of returns.
Mm.
So none of them took away from the others. It's a matter of either what part of the card you are looking at or what kind of return we're talking about. Surprise return or just in ring return after a year and a half.
I'm pretty sure the Miz and R-Truth beat The Rock and John Cena in a tag team match in a main event of a pay-per-view, thus making R-Truth a main eventer. Unless I made that up, in which I might be, but in which case you don't have the documents.
Right.
So
I think to be called a main eventer, there should be multiple main events under you.
I think you should have a. If you've
Not a handful.
had a championship more times than there's been champions, like I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like there's just no this the man's Hall of Fame. He should have a ring right now.
Let me ask you this. The championship that our truth has had, more times that there have been champions, and there have been many champions. Do you consider that championship higher status than the Intercontinental Championship or the US Championship?
I would say it's above the US championship, but below the Intercontinental Championship currently.
That's an interesting placement.
Honestly, it stems from me not knowing who the United States champion is.
Logan,
Oh, that's right. Logan Paul. I forgot because he's not there.
the Nux.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. Like, do they at least talk about him? Because I don't remember hearing about him on SmackDown, really. That's
It was
odd.
mentioned in the video package for Santos when
Oh,
Carlito
yeah.
said that
You need
Ray should
that,
blame
right?
Santos because he left the brass knucks there for
You'd
Logan Paul
need
to
that
use.
to set the scene, correct?
Right.
Like, you would need that information.
So Logan Paul and the U.S. title are actually secondary to the Santos versus Ray storyline, which I'm kind of cool with because the storyline is rather prominent, whereas Logan Paul, outside of the WWE bubble, has his own level of prominence and is probably somewhere, somehow, promoting the U.S. title and WWE.
Do we get a title defense at the Rumble?
From Roman or
No,
Logan?
from Logan. We're talking about the United States Championship. I would say
Mm,
yes, because we just had the Intercontinental Championship defended at Survivor Series Wargames. So you should have the Rumble. You want it to be a big event. Like, why
is Lo-
wouldn't you?
does Logan also enter the Rumble? I think
Why
that's
not?
the key question. Why not? Why? I mean,
You could do both
could,
because it's not like
sure,
he's going to win, you know,
right?
uh,
Unless he did,
which he wouldn't. But he could, but he won't. He shouldn't
he shouldn't.
because he won't.
Right.
But does he?
Could.
He won't.
He won't.
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't.
Would they? Lately I can't say I would put it past them, honestly.
It's a new world.
After yesterday, I don't know. I think all bets are off, honestly. I think we're past the singularity. I think we've entered a new frontier. We're boldly going, you know.
They willingly reinfected themselves with cancer.
We'll see how that works out for them. Maybe it'll
Yep.
vaccinate us against a bigger cancer or something. Really the biggest thing the positive spin I want is for the gamemanship to be upped. The stakes to be raised. Now this is a battle. You know what I mean? I know Tony Khan's out there seething, trying to think of moves. You know what I
Have you
mean?
checked on him today?
No, nothing's come up. But I'm hoping people are like, don't pick up your phone, don't tweet nothing,
Mm-hmm.
just focus on the task at hand. Please stop crying. Let's just come on, just get off my jacket. You getting it's not all. You know what I mean? Let's just focus on making good wrestling, good stories. You know, so what if you put Collision and Rampage against Survivor Series and probably got shellacked? It's okay. You went out there and you took your shot. And then the guy that made you fear for your life got a standing ovation in Chicago from fans that are also your say they're your fans. Some of them, most of them probably have gone to your shows out there. You might feel betrayed. Who knows, what kind of emotions that can elicit, especially in someone who's shown to not have really strong, you know, he seems to be a sensitive fella.
I messaged you while I was watching. Did you catch the All In reference?
Well, I know Cole brought up that Cody. So here's the story. So when Cody was coming in for War Games, Michael Cole had mentioned that that Dusty,
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes' father, had invented War Games. And then Michael Cole said that Cody made something here as well.
Cody created a, what did he call it? Not, I guess, an event.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he said an event. It was like an event
Mm-hmm.
because, and we all know.
Right.
So because they're all in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was really neat. I pay attention. I know what I'm doing. It was crazy because I had to watch it on my TV for comfort, and my computer it was behind
Mm-hmm.
where my TV was. It was crazy. I was like, what the hell? So
Hmm.
I'm glad I changed to the TV when shit got real. Otherwise, the surprise would have been ruined for me somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So
They also mentioned Jericho during the IC title match.
yeah, the walls are broken, dude. I think we're gonna. Yo, what if we get a forbidden door?
Ah.
I'm just, you know,
So, under Vince, no fucking way. TKO,
brave
Triple
new
H, Nick
world.
Khan, it's not outside the realm of possibility. But boy, will palms have to be greased.
Look, you know me. I'm always listen, guys. Let's act like the meteor's coming right now. All right, let's go when the getting's good. The meteor's gonna hit tomorrow. Let's party. Let's make all the things happen.
So, what's the dream match here? If it's not Seth versus Kenny, what?
It's Will Ospreay versus Cody. Could do that if you want. They probably done it already, but I didn't see it. You could do Randy versus wow, Adam Copeland. That'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting match. I think they might have the best match ever if they did that. Uh, they could do that.
I'm
It's
trolling.
possible. You could do Drew and Wardlow. That would be interesting. Two, a meaty grown man and a meaty younger man. You know.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, there's a lot you could do. You could do Moxley versus Roman Reigns.
That's
That's
what I
never
was just
happened
thinking.
before.
But we
That's
haven't
a
had
fresh
Mox.
matchup.
Thing
Yeah.
thing is,
Uh,
like
that's
Ambrose
obviously
was,
what I meant. I said
yeah,
Moxley,
yeah.
obviously.
Ambrose was watered down Mox.
That's why I said Moxley. So
So like MJF versus who?
the Miz probably, unfortunately
Yeah.
for
No, yeah, that would be good. I
yeah.
feel like I feel like Miz is a good setup guy on the mic.
I think it's perfect. I mean, why not? Like if you're
Yeah.
trying to like get this young kid over, why not with like the older version of him, but like
Hmm.
different in some ways.
Jay White versus Punk.
Man, that would be a dream match, wouldn't it? That would be the dream match. Jay White not happy, from what I'm hearing around the fire.
Really?
But I don't know. It's just a
I'm digging
rumor.
everything he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, look,
The
we
Bang Bang
can't.
Gang.
The Bang Bang Gang, but this is a Survivor Series War Games, and we've been
Right.
doing this for quite some time, Rich Derez.
You're right.
So any lasting closing impressions on the Survivor Series War Games match before we close out this week's episode?
Just overall, it was a solid show. It was an intriguing show. T's and P's going out to JD McFunko. That was quite the drop.
Yeah, he went splat.
Yeah. I feel like we had a moment just before the splat. Jay actually rehearsed. Jay went like this. And then, like, after the splat, he did the same thing. So, like, I wonder if he didn't know uh, that he was on camera the first time. And Randy's like, yo, what was your reaction going to be again? All right, that's good. That's good. Do that kind of thing.
Better
Or,
safe than sorry.
right. Um, it's like Jay was trying to do the, like that meme.
Oh yeah, like oh my god, he said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Um, so a lot of memorable moments. And as far as Punk, I'm going to give it the old time will tell.
No. Okay, cool. Sounds good.
About you.
uh
Final thoughts.
my final thought is I survived Survivor Series. Had to watch it twice. I liked it so much. It was
Two
fast.
time, two time.
Yeah, it was fast. And that's how I like a pay-per-view. I like it to be fast and just get on out of there. That's my favorite thing to do. Just like watch some good wrestling. Nothing felt like it dragged. I wasn't like, is this over yet? It's like, oh my God, what? It's
Yep.
over. And then, whoa, it's like Chicago exploding like that because Punk was there. And then thinking about all the fun wrestling tribalism that's going to occur in my X feed. Ooh, it's delicious. So, yeah, people talking about wrestling, it's good. As regards to Punk, I'm a time will tell, but I'm an optimist on this one. I'm like, let's make money. Like, who cares? Like, we know what kind of person you are when you sue your own friend. So, like, we could put that behind us and just enjoy wrestling.
Yeah. So speaking of just getting out of there. We are going to do that. Hit us up in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts on Survivor Series War Games, on the return of the Cancer Man, CM Punk himself. Our truth, all the War Games stuff. Let us know down below. And Jer's got a parting message.
The match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says. Yeet.
Follow the Bookers. I'm the champion. Yeah.